Hello everyone. It's been about a few months since my last upload, and I just want to say that I'm sorry. I've been pretty busy with improving my artwork. I'm currently working on a script for those progress videos, and it's taken a lot longer than I expected. I was also thinking of ideas of what videos to make during this hiatus, and I wanted to take a break from Sam and Max for a while. Now listen, I love this series, but sometimes you need to change things up a bit and play something else. So on that note, I decided to play another game from the Telltale Games archives, and that was the first season of The Walking Dead. This game is just great. At the time of its release, everyone was playing it. It was probably the one game that helped a lot of YouTubers get their start. It helped Telltale Games get their name out, and although it wasn't the first game to start the trope of an episodic release, I believe it was the one that popularized it because after the first season was finished, a lot of video game companies were following this trend. Overall, it's a really good game, and if you haven't played it, I'd highly recommend you do so. Well, at least the first season. The other seasons are, well, they're okay, but just season 1 is the best. That's all you need to know. So anyways, I played this game again, and for the first few minutes into the first episode, everything is coming back to me. The dialogue, the story beats, and the character introductions. And then comes the one game element that became a staple to the Telltale Games history, choices. Throughout this game, you're going to be making some choices. Some choices don't matter so much, and then there's some choices that have serious consequences. At the end of each episode, the game tells you if you made the same choices as other players have, and I always fell in the majority. On my first playthrough, I remember that I always sided with the Kenny, and I was an asshole to Lily and her father. But on this recent playthrough, I did the opposite for some of these choices. I never sided with Kenny, and I was nice to Lily. And then there was this one choice that would affect your game for the next few episodes, and that's what this video is going to be about. Choosing to save either Carley or Doug. I chose Carley. In fact, everyone chose Carley. For this recent playthrough, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna save Doug this time. At first, I was regretful because I didn't really think Doug was that interesting on his first impression. But after playing through the rest of the season, I found Doug to be really delightful. He was a pretty chill guy, and he was actually useful to the group in some ways that I wasn't expecting. When I got to the end, I started thinking, between Doug and Carley, who is the better survivor for this story? If this season followed a non-choice storyline, which of these two characters would be a better fit to the group and the zombie apocalypse? So for this video, I'll be going through each episode and summarizing Doug and Carley's presence in certain moments of the game. And towards the end of this video, I'll tally up my notes and let you know who I think would be the best survivor in The Walking Dead. Before we go any further, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a like to help this channel grow. But anyways, let's move on to the video. So, before the big choice happens, we get to spend some time getting to know these characters. I'll start off with Doug, since he's overlooked. Doug is just a simple man who moved to Macon to live with his uncle to work on tech stuff. He saved Carley from getting ambushed by walkers, and he helps Lee get the pharmacy keys by causing a distraction. Overall, Doug is really good when it comes to technology. Carley is a reporter from Atlanta. She is bad with technology, like really bad. God forbid she works with anything beyond a radio. But what she lacks in electrical expertise, she makes up with being a good marksman. She knows about Lee's past, but instead of ratting him out to the group, she keeps his past a secret. She goes with Lee to help Glenn rescue the woman trapped in the motel. She's the one who saves Doug from being bitten, and she stands up to Lily and Larry from kicking Lee out of the store. She also saves Lee from being bitten. Now, with all of this information, you can immediately tell why everyone chose Carley. She has more of a presence in this episode compared to Doug. We see that she contributes more to the group by either tagging along to go on a rescue mission or standing up for what's right. Doug is pretty much, well, there. We don't really get too much from him. A lot of the things we learn about him are very trivial, and I guess the same goes for Carley as well. But one thing I really liked about her arc was that we at least see her trying to find out what happened to her team during the outbreak.
Death toll continues to skyrocket. WABE urges you to stay indoors and avoid any contact with individuals you suspect may have been exposed.
The station is okay.
In the event of a full... my producer's telling me we have to get off the air.
Steve.
WABE wishes you and your loved one... God bless you all.
That radio sign-off didn't sound too good. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You don't have to be. It's traumatic.
I'm sure some people got out. Maybe they're all being rescued. Then again, maybe not.
You know, that uncle of yours might still be alive, Doug. I mean, you don't want to check in on him and see if he's, get some closure on that? No? Alright, well, let's move on. So when it comes down to that big decision, you're thinking, who do I want to save? some tech guy I don't know so well, or the girl who has had my back the moment I step foot in the store. Obviously, people are going to choose Carley, for all the reasons I've stated. And also...
Boobies!
Okay, but jokes aside, another reason players chose to save her was because of the potential love interest with Lee, and we all wanted to see how that would play out. So, in the aftermath of the pharmacy attack, we get a chance to talk to the person we chose to save.
How you doing, Carley?
I'm okay. You know, considering.
I do, yeah.
I can't stop thinking about Doug. We couldn't have saved him, could we?
I don't think so. It happened pretty fast.
I know it's stupid. We just met. And he was such a... It's just that... I think that I liked him.
Well, I'm sure he liked you too.
You better have. Anyway, I'd rather be alone, I think.
I understand.
Wait, Lee?
What is it?
How did you choose? We both needed you. You picked me.
I was gonna help you both.
But you helped me first.
Yeah, I did.
I just wish we both could have made it, you know?
Me too, Carley. How you doing, Doug? Doug?
We couldn't save her, could we?
I don't think so. It happened pretty fast.
I know it's stupid. We just met. It's dumb. But, I mean, it's probably just that survivor thing. I really liked her.
She liked you too.
Thanks, Lee. Anyway, I'd rather be alone, I think.
I understand.
Wait, Lee?
What is it, buddy?
How did you choose? I mean, we both needed you. You picked me.
I was going to help you both.
That makes sense, I guess. But you helped me first.
Yeah, I did.
I just wish you would have picked her.
Okay, that's just pretty sad. It seems like the writers were more invested with Carley than they were with Doug, and even he knows it. I mean, come on, Doug, give yourself a little more credit. I'm pretty sure you're useful to the group in some ways. And you know what? That's what we're about to find out. So now we make it to episode 2, and unfortunately, Carley or Doug don't get a lot of screen time in this episode. But for the amount of screen time they have, they make it count. When Lee and the group return from hunting and bring back Ben, and whoever you end up saving, you're then given the task of handing out food. You don't have enough for everyone, so you have to choose wisely. When you offer food to Doug or Carley, they both decline, and advise you give the food to someone else. However, I did read somewhere that if you offer them the apple, they'll take it. Carley will give you some tips on who to offer food to, and to help ease our guilt, she lets us know that if she doesn't get any rations for the day, she'll understand. As with Doug, well, he doesn't give us any advice on the food situation, it's just more small talk with him. But I will say that he earns points by building a defense system made of bells and wires, which is pretty resourceful, especially since it ends up working and alerting us to the 2 new characters of the episode.
Doug, it works. Of course it works. I told you.
Shit, where'd this string come from?
Watch where you're walking, man.
Carley doesn't have the tech skills that Doug has, so we don't have a fancy alarm system in her timeline, but she does pull out her trusty sidearm and keeps the brothers at bay as they approach the motel.
Back off!
Whoa, lady, relax. Me and my brother, we just want to know if y'all can help us out.
I said back off!
Carley.
After this confrontation, we follow the St. John brothers back to their farm for an exchange of gas for food. Doug or Carley will join us on this trek, and once again, they'll offer their own insights on the situation.
It's nice to get away from that motel for a while. This Lily Kenny thing is starting to get ridiculous. Personally, I'd be happier if you started to take charge more.
You think they'd want me for a leader?
Sure, everybody looks up to you.
Well, not everyone thinks I'm so trustworthy.
Because of your past. Does anyone else know?
Larry knows.
Great. That can't be easy.
Clementine knows. She was there when we were talking in the drugstore and asked me about it. I couldn't lie to her.
What exactly did happen with the senator?
You know what happened.
I only know what the press was told. I don't know your story.
Sometimes I wonder if I should talk to the group about it.
You don't have to. Whatever happened before things went to hell doesn't matter anymore.
Not sure everyone would see it that way.
Maybe you're right. Listen, over the years, I've reported on some pretty messed up shit. I've seen situations like yours 100 times. It doesn't have to make you a bad man.
I I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming along, Doug.
Sure. I'd like to get a look at that electric fence they talked about. It might give me some ideas for something I can rig up at the motor inn.
Can an electric fence really stop walkers?
Well, as long as the walkers aren't completely dehydrated and the fence has enough juice, yeah, it seems plausible. The electricity basically cooks you from the inside out, right?
I guess so.
So, if a walker stays in contact with the fence, it'll eventually cook its brain. Probably takes a while, though. And that can't be a good smell. Unless it smells like jerky. Man, I could go for some jerky. Ugh, I shouldn't have turned down that food you offered me earlier.
That is one runaway train of thought.
Sorry.
What's that you got there?
Oh, nothing. It's just a laser pointer I picked up during our last trip to the drugstore.
Now, not much happens when we get to the farm. We're introduced to Brenda St. John, who welcomes us with a basket of biscuits. After this, we won't see Doug or Carley until the climax of the game, since they decide to stay behind to watch over the motel. Carley stays behind because she and Ben eat half the biscuits on the way back, while it's implied that Doug stays behind because he eats half the biscuits himself.
These are for y'all. Egg fresh this morning.
Holy moly! Sorry.
Where's Ben and Doug?
Since Doug ate half the biscuits on the way to get us, I had them stay back.
Oh, come on, Doug. I mean, there are starving children back at the motel. So, just to recap of what happens in the episode until we get back to Doug and Carley. Mark gets shot, we find the Raiders camp and shoot a woman looking for her daughter. We find the St. John's mini slaughterhouse in the barn. We get served dinner, only to find out we're eating Mark's legs. Larry gets his head smashed in by Kenny, and we deal with one of the brothers who escape. At this point, Carley or Doug make their return. Carley comes in through the cornfield and puts down a walker in a badass way, while Doug nearly blinds us with his laser pointer. Not cool, Doug. Not cool at all. As we face off against the other St. John's brother, Carley and Doug both come in clutch by distracting him. Doug uses his laser pointer to blind Andy, which surprisingly works, while Carley uses her gun to blow off half his ear. This gives us a window of opportunity to take down Andy and leave the farm once and for all. As we make our way back to the motel, we pretty much get the same dialogue from both survivors, and where they ask us what happened at the farm.
Hey, Lee. I'd say I'm sorry for leaving the motel unattended, but, you know.
I'm glad you showed up when you did. If you hadn't taken that shot at Andy, we might not have gotten out of there.
Were they really killing people? For food?
Yeah, and Clementine almost ate some.
But...
I stopped her. I can't leave her alone, Carley. This fucking world now. It's hiding just unspeakable shit at every turn.
Katja managed to grab this while she was in the house. She said it was with your stuff.
Yeah. I found it while I was looking for the people who shot Mark. Do you want it?
Why don't you keep it? Sometimes it helps to have something you can document your thoughts on.
Hey, Lee. I'm sorry for leaving the motor inn unattended.
I never thought a laser pointer would be the thing that saved our lives. I'm glad you showed up when you did.
Well, we gotta stick together. Were they really chopping up people? For food?
Yeah, and Clementine almost ate some.
Man, that is sick. Clementine, she doesn't know, right? She didn't see or...
I stopped her. This fucking world now. It's hiding just unspeakable shit at every turn.
Ugh. Were you guys able to salvage anything good from the dairy?
Not really. St. John's took everything I had before the place got completely overrun with walkers.
Oh, I was able to grab a couple of your things back while Brenda wasn't looking.
It doesn't work. You have any use for it, Doug?
It's just a basic camcorder. The Save-Lot's cheapie. Let me check it out, see if I can get it working.
When we get to the station wagon and start taking supplies, we get some unique dialogue from Carley as a callback to the first episode.
Hey, there were some batteries in one of those boxes. I thought they might work in your camcorder. Here, you can have some too. For your walkie-talkie.
Batteries, huh? Think you can handle those?
You're not gonna let me live that down, are you?
So now ends the second episode, and we move on to the third episode, which unfortunately is the last appearance for both Doug and Carley. Okay. After Lee and Kenny return from the pharmacy in Macon, Lily starts her witch hunt on who's been stealing supplies. If we talk to Doug, he expresses sympathy for Lily, knowing that the death of her father is causing her to feel paranoid. and he advises us to go talk to her. I also want to point out that he's fortifying the wall to keep it safe from any attacks from bandits. Good call, Doug. Carley will tell us to talk to Lily as well, but she also asks Lee for a private chat, and this is where we get to see more of the romantic subplot between them. It's a really cute moment. They attempt to flirt a little bit, and he ends up getting a kiss on the cheek for his efforts. She subtly expresses her feelings for Lee and shows concern for his well-being by advising him to tell people about his past. She thinks it's better for people to hear it coming from him instead of someone else, which I think is a good call. So you have the option to tell the group about your past, and I chose to tell everyone. I mean, why not? So you continue your investigation with the help of Doug, and we find out that someone has been stealing supplies and leaving them outside for the bandits. As you tell Lily about your findings, the motel is captured by the bandits who have been attacking us. Nice work with the fortification there, Doug. All hell breaks loose, and we're in a fight for our lives between bandits and walkers. Carley will help you reduce the number of walkers as we get the RV ready to go. And while Doug doesn't help with shooting down any walkers, he is the one to get the RV started for us to make her escape. And now, we make it to the final act for these survivors. Lily begins to interrogate the group on who's been giving supplies to the bandits. We have some ways to go about this. We can side with Lily, work against her, or just remain neutral. For this recent playthrough, I sided with Lily, while also trying to side with Doug or Carley. I made sure to put the blame on Ben because, spoilers, Ben is the one who's been stealing supplies and giving them to the bandits. Now look, I understand that he's just a kid and he's scared. There is this very good video that explains Ben's choices for this season, and you know what? I completely understand. It is a good video. I definitely recommend you watch it. But also, at the same time, come on, Ben! If we have Carley in our group, she undermines Lily's authority and tells her to back off. She will also antagonize Lily by giving her some brutal truths, which is not a good idea in this situation.
You think you're some tough bitch, don't you? Like nothing can hurt you. But you're just a scared little girl. Get the fuck over it. Take a page from Lee's book and try helping somebody for once.
Meanwhile, Doug will try to keep the peace. Instead of going up against Lily, he'll ask her to be logical about putting the blame on someone. He tries his best to make sure that no one gets kicked out of the group, but unfortunately that doesn't work, because in the end, both Carley and Doug get shot by Lily. Carley's death is out of malice. After the brutal truth she made, Lily puts her down with no hesitation at all, whereas with Doug, it was an accident. She was trying to shoot Ben, but Doug pulls him out of the way and gets in Lily's shot. It's funny because I remember when this episode first came out, fans were speculating that maybe Doug and Carley survived getting shot by Lily. I mean, with Doug, it was pretty clear he was not coming back from that one. With Carley, sure, it looked like she got shot in the cheek, so I can see why fans were thinking that she survived. But then the DLC came out and Telltale Games put that theory to rest. So now, let's go over our findings. It's very obvious that Carley was the intended survivor to make it out of the pharmacy. There's just so much that she brings to the table. Her interactions with Lee are very personal, she has his best interests at heart, and wants to make sure that Lee and Clementine make it out alive. While Doug does have Lee's best interests at heart, he doesn't really show it with his dialogue. He's a chill dude, but almost all of his interactions are just small talk, or it's him going on about electronics. I will say that I did enjoy seeing the differences with how the cutscenes played out if he had lived, but if I had to play the season again sometime in the future, I would save Carley again. That isn't to say that Doug is completely useless, I just wish the writers had given him more to contribute. Now, if these two made it out alive for Macon and didn't get killed by Lily, and somehow made it as far as reaching a big settlement like in Season 2, I would say that they are both useful in their own ways. Carley would definitely be a good leader. Maybe not the leader of an entire town, but a leader that helps with scouting missions, and if there's ever an argument, she would be the one to speak out with a good moral code. Doug wouldn't be someone who would be good with a gun, but he would be very useful in building the town's defenses and creating alternate resources. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think it's ironic that their strengths are what got them killed in episode 3. Like with Carley, she's very hot-headed and vocal when something's not right, and Doug will try to put other people's safety before his own, and unfortunately, that's how he ended up being led. I think it's a shame that these two met such an unfortunate end early in the season. It would have been interesting to see what they would have been like in later episodes, but oh well. One can dream. But what do you guys think? Did you save Carley or Doug in your first playthrough? Based on what I told you, who would be the better survivor for the story? Leave your comments below and I will be more than happy to read them. And hit the like button and the subscribe button to keep up to date with the videos that I'll be posting. And that's all I got for you guys today, so see you around and bye-bye. Have a good night or have a good morning. Whichever. Bye.